Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Advisor with Stacey Chillemi. And today I'm very excited because we have a very special guest today. He is the founder of the Project. He is an author, a speaker. He is a coach. He works with mindset and lots of other different things. And he's just a wonderful individual with a lot of insight that I think you're going to find very interested in today's talk. His name is Tom Cronin, and he is just an amazing individual. And today we're going to focus on where is the planet and humanity headed in today's society? Because as you know, there's a lot of things going on in our world, and things aren't also great globally. So we're going to touch base and talk about some of these things. And he's going to share a lot of his insight, tools, and strategies and different ways of approaching things. So Tom, it's a wonderful honor to have you on the show today. I'm really excited to talk about this topic. There's so much going on in our world today, and it just, sometimes people wonder, where are we headed? Where is this world going? Because there's so much going on when it comes, from violence to environmental issues and just, things, all over the place just seemed totally messed up. It just, the world isn't going the way, we would like it to. So, tell everybody before we begin a little about yourself, and then maybe we can head into that topic because there's so much to cover when it comes to that topic.
Yeah, thanks, Stacey. It's great to be here. I'm coming in from Sydney, Australia. It's 5 in the morning and the birds are just waking up. So if you hear them kookaburras chanting in the background, then you'll know what that is. Yeah, look, I'm a meditation teacher, a coach, run retreats, and I founded the Stillness Project. And from that was a big vision to inspire 1 billion people to meditate daily. I saw some of the world's problems coming from our state of minds. And so I figured what changed my life more than anything was learning a deep Vedic meditation, or what some people call transcendental meditation, and it was a real game changer for me. So I eventually became a teacher and started the Stillness Project to inspire billions of people around the world to meditate, which is kind of partly why I'm here today, is just to talk about that. And I also produced a film, and that was part of this idea of using multi forms of communication to share the power of meditation in changing people's lives by changing our state of mind. And so The Portal is a film and a book that looks at crisis and how crisis can be a chrysalis. Crisis doesn't have to be an ongoing point of pain and suffering. It's an opportunity for alchemization, for a big shift. And that kind of segues in nicely to what we're talking about, because whenever individually, whether it's a relationship or a business or even a civilization, when we have crisis, it's really just an opportunity, and it's a mechanism that this divine intelligence or the universe has to enact and inspire change, to compel us, to propel us to do something different. Now, we can listen to that information, which we rarely do, which means more crisis and more pain, more suffering,
Yeah.
or we can adapt and change. And even Einstein once said, I think it was that Einstein or Darwin said that, greatest of the species wanted to change the most adaptive. So where are we at as a species? I think, we are at a very exciting point. It's very easy for us to focus on the doom and gloom, and there's every reason why we should, in some ways, be very aware of the impending tragedy that could unfold for humanity, which is an existential risk to us as a species. There is a very high probability that we could self-terminate as a species. There's a number of different factors that could lead to that, from nuclear war to AI to environment to food shortages. All sorts of different things could lead to an existential threat to our existence. And look, there's around 10,000 species become non-existent every year. So just us being a species, there's no reason why that couldn't be us. But we don't want to be all this doom and gloom, because we also want to focus on the polarity of the incredible progress that is happening on the planet right now. It is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
So the mere fact alone that you're in New Jersey and I'm here in Sydney, Australia, having conversations about how we can make the world a better place, and then you having, I think it's over 1 million listeners, something like that couldn't happen just 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So the ability to move very potent and important information around the world in a blink of an eyelid is, I think, one of the biggest things that's going to be shapeshifting humanity forward to a better place. We're seeing more people get access to education. We're getting more people accessing to health and wellness, nutrition, and it's phenomenal. I actually just got reached out on Facebook yesterday. It's quite interestingly, to show the power of where the world's at right now. My organization donates money from every sale of our products. So whether we teach someone to meditate or speak on stage, we allocate a portion of our funds to places all around the world. And someone reached out to me on Facebook. Are you Tom Cronin? Did you work with an organization, and then they named the charity that I worked with called So They Can? I said, yeah, that's right. And she goes, well, you sponsored me many years ago to get an education. And now I'm all grown up and I have access to social media. And she wrote this long message about how indebted she was to me and my family, because my kids and my wife and myself used to write letters to them. And she said, I've been looking for you for a long time. So
Wow.
thank you for how much you've changed my life. And this is the power of the world that's progressing. We're coming together as a community where African kids can reach out to us on Facebook and say, "Hey, I've got a job because of you. You gave me an education." So the world is progressing incredibly rapidly to a better place, I believe.
Oh, I love hearing stories like that. I think it's so wonderful when people reach out and help others because, a lot of times you see people reaching out or they show on the media, people reaching out when crisis occurs, but it shouldn't have to be like that. We should be reaching out to the communities around us all the time and trying to help people all the time. And, what progress we can make if people just for a moment have gratitude for what they have and then use that gratitude and give back to the members of society around us.
Yeah, it's so important, and it's. I think it's so easy for us, like you said before we got on air, that it's easy for us to know about the bad things that are happening in the world because we have access to so much information.
Hmm.
But there is a tendency for us to gravitate to the bad things that are happening in the world. It's easier for me to find information about the bad things. I just have
Yeah.
to open up one of the major newspapers in the world online, and all I'll see will be reporting on bad things that are happening.
Yes.
But if you dig deeper, yesterday I saw an Instagram reel of a group of men in Bali that are all coming together to clean up beaches and rivers, and they do this
Hmm.
every week in Bali. There's groups of animal shelters where people are adopting dogs, and all sorts of incredible acts of human kindness and
Hmm.
human care are happening. It's just that we have to sift through all of that
Yes.
noise and clutter of negativity to find some really amazing things that are happening around the world.
Oh, so true. And I think one of the things that why the media focuses so much on negativity is because negativity sells. People are always interested in learning more about the negative things, and they gravitate to that for whatever reason. If it'd be nice if we can just start really promoting the positive things that are happening in this world and start changing the outlook of people and their mindset. If we constantly show people negativity, 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 people get depressed, people, focus on negativity. But if we pump positivity into the world and we show all the good things, people might get encouraged and they might gain hope and say, hey, this world isn't such a bad place after all. Look what I could do. Look what they did. I could do that too. I could help out. And then, you could see positive change, but we have to reinforce that as a community.
Well, I think interestingly, we're seeing the old forms of media now. If you think, say, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, the only forms of media which were owned by very large wealthy individuals or organizations was magazine, newspaper, TV, and
Hmm.
radio.
Yes.
And they were the only people that could disseminate information around the world. There was no other way, really. I mean, unless you wrote a
Yes.
book, and that was quite hard because you had to get that published. You couldn't self-publish and put it up on Amazon. Whereas now we're seeing that superseded, and you've got someone like Joe Rogan has more listeners than CNN at the moment. So
Yeah.
we're seeing the old pillars of media being eroded. And again, this is one of the great, beautiful, exciting things about what's happening in the world is that media is being taken into the hands of the masses. And I'm doing a keynote presentation today. And the keynote is one that I do often in organizations, and it's called From Me to We, The Waking of Humanity. And the me to we is a paradigm shift where individuals that have this sort of separated, segregated sense of I is breaking down, and we're getting into a more of a collective we, where people start thinking and being part of a more broader spectrum of society. And so this is happening through social media where the power of one or two individuals, the Murdochs of the world having control over what people hear and see
Yeah.
is being eroded because now I can actually create my own media. And again, you've got your own media. You've got a million people listening to your media, which is really exciting. It does have some polarity in that because we can have some misinformation, but
Right.
then how much misinformation has the mainstream media been giving us anyway over all these
Yeah.
years? So that's already been happening, so it's not new.
Yeah.
But what's really just going back to that original point is that um, some of the most shareable posts you'll find that will turn up in your feeds are people that are helping kittens, or a dog that's saved a duck out of some trouble or something like that. And so I think the mainstream media has probably missed the mark for many years, thinking
Yeah.
that the masses only want to see negativity. But in actual fact, if you look at the stuff that's shared probably the most on social media, it's the really nice, warm, fuzzy stuff.
Yeah.
And some of it obviously is negative, but most of us want to see really good things and positive things. And
Yes.
I think this is why we're seeing this change happening in the world right now, from the power of media to social media.
Oh, I agree with that. I agree with that. You do see a lot of people putting up a lot of positive things. You see a lot of people coming out and teaching positive tools and strategies on how to change your mindset, how to change your outlook, how to become a better person, how to reach your goals, how to make your dreams a reality. So people are trying to teach other people how to be better human beings and get over the obstacles in their lives and be, move forward to what they want to be and the goals they want to accomplish. So there is definitely change being made in this world. I definitely, think a lot of good has come. Now, you talk about meditation and mindset and how powerful of a tool it could be. If someone is going through a hard time and they want to change their mindset, or they want to incorporate tools in their lives that will make a difference and make them feel better, maybe bring them to a level of calmness, maybe help them think differently. What are some tools and strategies people can do to bring positive mindset and meditation into their lives?
Look, I think there's two ways to look at that. One is cure and one is prevention. Firstly, I'm a really big fan of prevention. So, everyone listening today probably brushed their teeth, and that's not cure, that's prevention. They're
Hmm.
brushing their teeth not because they have holes in them, they're brushing their teeth to protect them from getting holes.
Yes.
And we should take the same approach to our mental state as well. Mental health is something that we have to work at, just like physical health. If I sit around doing nothing, then I won't have physical health from the things that I do. And I think we should all be meditating every single day. It's without doubt, it's one of the most game-changing things and most important things I think a human could do for their overall overarching well-being. And Dr. Bruce Lipton from Stanford University Medical School says that 95% of all sickness is a result of stress. So
Yes.
if we want to reduce 95% of the world's sickness, we have to change our relationship to the world, which is that stress response, and reducing
Hmm.
that stress response. The most effective way I've found, among other things, obviously exercise and eating well and things like that, and being in nature, having good connection with plants, animals, and humans. But meditation and the state of our mind is absolutely critical. So sitting and scrolling through TikTok, looking at negative news or complaining about people really isn't the solution to that. But sitting in a quiet state of mind, what happens is two things. We put our body into deep physiological rest, which enables the body to start really healing itself.
Hmm.
People don't realize how much of a physiological restoration meditation actually is. They think it's a spiritual practice or a mental practice, but
Right.
particularly those deeper meditations like Vedic meditation that I teach, the physiological level of rest is up to 4 times deeper than sleep, which means that the body really quickly heals and nourishes itself and recovers back to an optimal state quite quickly. So it's very, very powerful at resetting the physiology. But more importantly, it puts the mind into an expansive state of pure consciousness where the mind becomes consciously aware, not a thinking apparatus, but a conscious apparatus. And that's a very different mindset to be in what we call being or presence, where
Hmm.
my body is just so expansive, but also very present because there's no longer this like hamster on a treadmill sort of thinking mind. And so I think firstly, we've got to start meditating every day for prevention. When it comes to cure, if we're going through a really difficult, challenging time, sometimes just going to a gym and doing a massive gym workout or doing some very deep, elongated breathing, particularly if you're in anxiety or panic,
Hmm.
to really take back control of the breath is really important and to slow down that breath. But having a mind that doesn't because of your prevention process, you now have the ability to observe the mind rather than be the mind. Most people
Right.
think they are the thinker, whereas you're actually conscious awareness itself. So watching your thoughts, reclaiming your thoughts, and taking back control of your body as well with some really regulated slow breathing is really important.
I like that a lot. Now, is there a specific type of everyone meditates differently, but is there one type of meditation you find very effective in your own personal life?
I had a lot of anxiety, panic attacks, depression, addictions, insomnia, agoraphobia. So I had to take mental health leave from work, and I was put on medication. I was seeing psychologists, psychiatrists, really having the impact that I was looking for. And then I found this deeper, transcending style of meditation, which really was quite a powerful process of getting me into a very deep state. And so, Vedic meditation, what I teach, I found the most effective using the mantra. The mantras that we repeat inside our head really make the meditation a very easy, accessible pathway into deep meditation.
Is there a specific way that we should when we do the mantras and where is there a specific way like slow down your breathing just to focus on any imagery or just repeat the mantras and have a clear mind? Is there a specific way a person could have, to get an idea of a powerful way to start getting themselves on a good track?
Like, I think there's so many different ways to meditate, and I like to compartmentalize rather than mixing them all up at the same time.
Hmm.
There's gratitude meditation, there's visualization meditation, there's chakra balancing meditation, there's transcending mantra based meditation. So, if I'm doing mantra based meditation, say Vedic meditation or TM, I recommend just sitting in a chair, closing your eyes. Once you receive your mantra or birth sound based upon when you're born from your teacher, just sitting in your chair and effortlessly repeating that inside your head and not doing anything else. Now, if you're doing a contemplation or concentration meditation, let's just say you're going to concentrate on your breath, then
Hmm.
sitting in your chair, and I'll give everyone just a very simple one right now. If they just close their eyes
Hmm.
and just notice as the breath moves in and out of their nostrils, it's a very effortless breath. Notice how it just cools the rim around the rim of the nostril.
Hmm.
As the air moves in and out of the nostril, there's going to be a slight cooling effect
Hmm.
on the skin, and to just bring the awareness and just simply keep your attention on that single point of the air cooling the skin on the inside of the nostril and just staying with that for 5 to 10 minutes. That alone could be really powerful at centering the mind and calming the nervous system.
I like that.
I don't know
It
about
is
you.
very relaxing. It is. It's very relaxing. Now, you also talk about figuring out your purpose in life. For years, like there are people who go through their entire life and they struggle with finding their purpose in life. What have you found when it comes to trying to figure out what your purpose in life is? Do you have any suggestions or any types of strategies or different things people could do to figure out? Because sometimes people wake up in the morning and they're just not happy. They just wake up, they feel like they're dragging their feet. They might go to work and they just don't like what they do. They feel like maybe there's something missing inside them. They might feel a little emptiness in their heart. They just don't feel like they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, that there's something out there for them. What's your viewpoint when it comes to trying to figure out your purpose in life?
Yeah, I think, purpose can put a lot of pressure on people because people think, oh, my purpose is I need to save the planet. And therefore, if I'm not doing something really intense and strenuous and challenging to save the planet, then I haven't got purpose. It can get a bit complicated, a bit, confusing for some people,
Yeah.
and also a bit of pressure. The first thing we've got to realize about with purpose is that we firstly have been given incredible gifts. There's no one missed out on the gift pool.
Hmm.
It's just that some people's gifts are different to others. Ariana Grande obviously got the voice,
Yeah.
and someone else might have got some other gift. Eckhart Tolle has a phenomenal gift for writing.
Hmm.
Deepak Chopra, a great gift for writing. My teacher that I studied with, Tom Knowles, his gift was the voice and eloquence. He was an incredible orator and speaker.
Hmm.
And we all have these incredible gifts. So, firstly, knowing what gifts you have, and anyone that says to me I didn't get one, it's like no one missed out. It could be that your gift is, it could be you're very good at gaming and maybe there's something in that, or
Yes.
there could be that you're very good at building fences or
Hmm.
paving brick fences, or just don't know, right? So finding out what your gifts are, but finding out the joy of expressing those gifts. How
Yeah.
do I use that gift in a joyful way that I just love doing? We actually shouldn't make purpose something that is a burden or a struggle or something that we an obligation. And I felt that for a long time. I felt an obligation to make the world a better place. And I was doing a lot of things to drive that purpose that I didn't want to do and I wasn't enjoying. And it took me a long time to realize that I can still have the same purpose of making the world a better place, but I've got to focus on doing it in a way that I enjoy it. So I moved away from things like making films. I didn't like making films, and I didn't really like doing all this online stuff. I liked teaching meditation. I liked running retreats. I liked speaking. And so
Hmm.
I thought, let's just build a business around doing the stuff that I love. And you can do that
Yeah.
if that's something you want to do as a financial business structure, or you can do it just as a side thing that you do while you do your day job. Like Superman had a day job as a writer, and then he went and saved cats up in trees when he was in his spare time.
I love it. I love it. Now, when it comes to spirituality, a lot of you were talking about different types of meditation. You mentioned about chakra meditation, and a lot of people don't understand what chakra meditation is, and balancing your energies, balancing the chakra, and how you can actually get in tune with your spirituality, and you could actually help you grow and really connect with your inner self. And can you explain to people what chakra meditation is and why it could be such a powerful tool and the benefits of it?
Yeah, so we have different energy points through our body that have, I guess, different effects and different roles to play. So we'll start at the base, at the very
Hmm.
base of the body. So if you imagine while you're sitting in a chair, you're trying to stop yourself going to the toilet and you
Hmm.
pull what's called your pelvic floor muscles up.
Yes.
Um, if you just simply sit in a closed eye meditation and you bring awareness to that base, it could be even just the pressure of your buttocks pressing into the seat
Hmm.
by simply for one meditation a day, spending maybe 5 to 10 minutes, just bringing your awareness to that base point of your body. We call it the root chakra, and
Hmm.
it's recognized in the color red. You don't even have to imagine the red color, but just imagine the pressure in that part of your body.
Yes.
It's a really beautiful meditation. It's one where you close your eyes and you almost feel yourself, like I liken it to getting a toothpaste tube and turning it upside down and squeezing down, 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 down. So you're squeezing your attention down and bringing it to the very base of your body, just where the buttocks are pressing into the chair or the
Yeah.
pelvic floor muscle is.
Hmm.
And just keeping your attention there for 10 minutes. And it's really calming because all your energy is coming out of your head and it's going into your root.
Yes.
And it's like the foundation of the house. It becomes a very calming, stabilizing place. And we don't give this area much attention in our life, yet that area is one of the most important because it's the area for stability, for
Hmm.
security, for
Yeah.
safety. And if we start giving that attention on a daily basis, we start finding that our money security, our relationship security, our house security starts to get a little bit more stabilized. And it really allows the other chakras to get more awakened because now it's got a safe root, like a foundation to
Yeah.
all the other chakras. But we can go up, and we won't have to go through all the chakras, but we've got the Nabi chakra, which is in the belly button.
Hmm.
Um, we've got the one here in the heart center, which
Hmm.
is obviously for love and connection. We've got the throat chakra, which is all about communication and being able to express yourself clearly. So that one was really blocked for me for a long time. When
Hmm.
I started doing a lot of work on my throat chakra, I obviously started being able to be more eloquent and speak more and be more open about my feelings and also be a better communicator. We've got our third eye chakra, which is all about intuition and opening up our psychic capabilities. So we start finding that we get more in tune to almost events before they happen,
Yes.
having psychic premonitions and all sorts of interesting things can start happening when we do some third eye activation meditations. And then we've got our crown chakra, which connects us to the cosmos, to the divine, and realizes that we're part of some vast collective intelligent field and we're actually part of an omnipresent conscious realm, which is really beautiful and powerful.
Yes. Yes. It's so important because I think, meditation and having a strong mindset, these are two things that can change your entire life. It can really, if you utilize those tools, if you create a strong mindset, if you able to take time in the day each day to meditate, even early in the morning to start your day really well, and maybe at nighttime, before you go to bed, you could really start to really change the way you start to view life, the way you start to do things. You can have more clarity, more focus, see things in a different way. What is your intake about incorporating meditation and changing your mindset and making it more positive? How strong of an effect can it have on people's lives?
It's it's hard to put that into words because it's so powerful and so important. It literally it shifts people on so many levels. Not only do they become less needy, um, and more needlessness, they
Hmm.
this is a really interesting paradigm shift where we go from abject need and insecurity and fear and craving and longing and insatiable appetites, insatiable desires, to becoming much more fulfilled and harmonious and calm and caring and kind. We don't become perfect. I still have my shadow side. I still have my own fallibilities and challenges that I grapple with. But we just tend to find overall in all areas of life, we become better human beings.
Yes.
And we start to realize the firstly two things: the substandard level of human experience that so many people are having, and the potential for a superhumanized experience of life, really an optimized human experience, from our health, from our mindset, to our superhuman capabilities of manifestation. And we're only just scratching the surface of what's possible for us as a human being. And it really is phenomenal how much more we can experience. And it doesn't really take much. It's not that complicated to awaken our superhuman capabilities, our city's powers. And I'm really excited because we're starting to see this awakening en masse of humanity, where we're starting to take sovereignty into our hands as far as what we eat and how we think and our health. These sort of things are really exciting. And I think meditation is not just meditation alone. We're seeing plant medicine, we're seeing breath work, we're seeing yoga, we're seeing all these beautiful ancient modalities, tribal traditions coming into the mainstream for a reason. And we're
Yes.
starting to go, well, hang on, we've been reading crappy negative news. We've been drinking alcohol and putting drugs into our body. We've been eating and being conditioned to eat really unhealthy food, putting toxins into our body. And now humanity's starting to wake up and go, hey, that's not serving us anymore. And that's not working well for us. That's
Hmm.
leading to obesity. It's leading to sicknesses. It's leading to, you know, poor mental health. And there's a much better system out there that we can start to awaken to, which is really exciting.
Yes, it is. When you start to work and you start to focus on all these things, and you start to, change the way you think, change the way you eat, change the way you take care of your body, and you just create a whole regiment of a way of living that that's going to benefit you as a person. You start to see everything start to change in your life, and your body becomes stronger, and you become stronger as a person, and your everything. It's just a unbelievable feeling when you start to make these changes in your life that you've discussed with us.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I was talking to I teach people how to become meditation teachers now. I have a teacher training program. And I was talking to one of my teachers yesterday who actually moved from Sydney to Bali with his family. He's got two children and a wife. And they've been in Bali for about, I don't know, maybe 3 months now. And his kids have been in a school there that he found. It was actually set up by a Canadian man. And the school has like two or three kids per teacher and teacher assistant. So there's like one teacher for the class, but there's a lot of assistants. So the
Hmm.
teachers and the assistants, they work a lot with the children. And the children only do about 3 hours a day of the school curriculum. So that's maths, English, geography, etc. And the rest of the time, he said it's mind blowing what they're learning. They're learning how to be a gentleman. This is a 5-year-old kid, how to be a gentleman in life, how to meditate, how to do yoga. They're learning about, as they kids get older, they learn about financial responsibility. They're learning about, their health and wellness, things that are lifestyle skills that help them interact in the world in a better way. He said in just 1 or 2 months, his kids have completely changed. He can't believe how substandard the education system is around the world. I'm going to say Australia because I know Australia is not much different to the USA and UK. And he said it's blown him away how different the education system could be if we brought into what we're educating our children and started to think more about how do we educate children to be better human beings and to
Yes.
be more sovereign. One of the things they're learning is emotional self-regulation
Yeah.
rather than just be, flying off the handle all the time and pulling out a gun because you're unhappy with what your boss said to you. How do we regulate our emotions to the point where we calmly respond to situations without having this sort of crazy reactiveness? So he said it's been phenomenal to see the impact that's having by simply having just some very different information coming into a child's life through an education system.
I've always said that, these are things that we lack in life, and we really should incorporate them because children come out of school and they're lacking such important qualities. And if they're not getting it at home, they really go out into the world and they don't know how to react well. If you live, 70% of the individuals come from dysfunctional families, I know in the US. So if you have families that don't know how to express their emotions properly, if you have yelling and screaming constantly going on, or any type of emotional or physical abuse, and you're not taught the proper way to act like a gentleman, to act like a lady, to be able to, deal with emotions in the proper way, you know, um, you're going to just repeat these behaviors over and over and over again. But imagine if you could have that in school. And then children can have a different mindset and a different way of reacting to situations that they're going to be faced with on a daily basis because they come out of school knowing the general subjects, but once you leave school, you probably utilize less than 15% of what you learn, subject matter wise. But if a lot of those other things could stay with you your whole life because you practice them over and over and over again. And it can make such a big difference on the way our society becomes.
Okay, we've just had this week the announcement of we call it HSC, which is the last year of school.
Hmm.
HSC results have come out in New South Wales, and for the last 4 days, every single leading article in the newspaper has been on what the top schools got, what the top kids got, all about the highest grades.
Yeah.
And I was thinking it's a shame because we're putting so much emphasis on the intelligent outcome of them being tested in an exam and then getting results from those tests, as opposed to what if we had a way of measuring how many happy kids came out of school?
Yeah.
you know, we've got, wow, we had a huge result this year. We had, so many happy kids come out of school. We had the lowest rates of anxiety. We had the lowest rates of eating disorders. We had the lowest rates of suicide. We had the lowest. It was an incredibly successful year this year. Because really, that's what's going to be more important when it goes through to them going into life.
Yes.
As you said, amount of things that they've been able to regurgitate into an exam to get a grade that is going to get them, somewhere in life. I mean, how much of that is going to really have a big impact on their success in life? Probably very limited for a lot of them, unless you're going to become a lawyer or a doctor or an accountant or something. But I think for most of them, you know, it was probably unwarranted and excessive for what they're going to need later on in life.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Now, if you had to take today's conversation, you really wanted to emphasize on some important factors, what are some of the things you really like to emphasize?
I think, firstly, the one thing you mentioned, which was, I think, one of the most important things, is gratitude. And that is to wake up every day and go, wow, the sun is still providing us with warmth and light. The trees are still providing us with oxygen and taking away carbon dioxide. I have fresh running water in my tap. I have people around me that are beautiful people that I connect with. And just looking at the simplicity of life and the beauty of life and realizing that there are magical things happening. There's an incredible world unfolding. People are doing really, really awesome, great things. And if you want to be part of that, think about what can you do on a daily basis that contributes in some way to the world. If we all started thinking about not just how awesome the world is, but how can I contribute to that awesome world in
Yeah.
some way to make that awesome world even more awesome, then we're going to have an awesome world. And there's a beautiful saying, if you can hold it in your head, you can hold it in your hand. And I think if we start thinking about in our head the beauty and the wonder and the awe of the world,
Hmm.
then that's going to be something that we manifest over time. But don't let large organizations and corporate entities dictate the state of our health, the state of our mind, the
Yeah.
state of what we consume, whether it's mental or physical consumption, and to really honor your own greatness and honor your own magnificence and reclaim that and move forward with that in some way, shape, or form that makes you feel purposeful.
Yes, 100%, 100%. Now you've been doing a lot of different things. Can you explain some of the services and things that you offer?
Yeah, a few things. I'm very excited to announce that I'll be running. We haven't even really announced it to the public yet, but I'll announce it now. We'll be running a retreat in the USA for our first retreat in the USA in July. We're going to be doing it in Austin, Texas, and I know everyone, it's going to be hot, but we're going to be inside with air conditioning, and in the breaks you can go and swim in the pool. So we're going to be doing that in July, and that'll be on our website. So we're running retreats all around the world in Bali, USA, Dubai, and Australia. I do mentoring for conscious leaders. So that's coaches, healers, yoga teachers, meditation teachers, helping them get business structure to their businesses. I do one-on-one mentoring as well for people spiritually and personally. And I teach meditation. So we do that all around the world with Zoom courses and in person as well. So these are the main sort of areas that I focus on at the moment.
And where can people get in touch with you?
I love hearing from people on Instagram. I don't know why, I just like Instagram. It's a really nice sort of personal place that I can communicate with people. And on my website. So my Instagram is Tom Cronin, and my website is Tom Cronin as well. And that's TomCronin.
I love it. I love it. Well, this has been amazing. And I thank you so much for coming on the show. You have such great insight. And I love that you focus, on mindset and you focus on meditation and how powerful meditation can be. We've just tapped a couple of basic surfaces, about meditation, but meditation can really change a person's life. It could change your health. It could change your way of thinking. It can change the way you do things in life. It could change your business. It could change everything, mental, physical, spiritual, business oriented, it could do lots of things for you. And I really enjoyed this conversation. And, we just tapped on some important subjects that you hear people talking about all the time. But I would love to have you back on the show. And I think we could talk more about meditation and the different aspects of meditation and maybe go a little further. But today's conversation was great, and I thank you so much for coming on the show.
But I'd love to be back. It was great connecting with you, and thanks for providing such a great opportunity for the world to be able to make their lives better. So thanks for creating the medium itself for your podcast.
Oh, thank you. And you have a great day.
I would do. Thank you.